Eric Muadh, Muadh.com. Let's take a look at Twitter, which over the past week, in fact the last 3 days, the stock is up about 14 to 15% for the week. In fact, for the day today, we see that it is up about, let's call it about 5%. So nice move over the last week or so. Now, even though it looks good in terms of the last week and the last couple of trading sessions, if you take a look at the long-term view, and especially if you go to the weekly, and here we have all data for Twitter, you can see that the stock is running into a level where it could conceivably have some trouble moving above. So I'll show you two lines on the weekly, which is line number one comes from the previous back test. So there was a previous line of support. Now this is where it broke down during this week, and it has been trading lower since then. So we know that that break in the RSI was not good for the stock. So what we can do is extend that same break line. Should look something like that. And what I'm getting at here is you can see that we had uniform activity rejection. Here the stock went above the blue line and back below it with uniform activity, which was a sell signal here in the 30s. The stock has never looked back, and now we are coming back with the move this week to test the same line. So clearly, unless the stock can move above that blue line, that could be a trouble spot for the stock. There's also another line, which is same type of analysis, slightly different. Here we come and take a look at where the break took place, which is somewhere around there. Draw a line from there. So let's change colors here so we can be consistent with what we're looking at. So there was a break of that trend line. So we draw a straight line from here, which is this level here. And you can see that right now, this has been used once before by the stock. This was uniform activity above the red line and back below it. And that also corresponds to this sell signal around the 30s. And now we are coming back here and to test the same line. So you have two lines, that red line and also the previous line, which I'll draw like that. So both of them are coming into play, in my opinion. Somewhere around here, the stock could find some very strong resistance and could have to pull back. Now that's the weekly. Take a look at the all data daily. So all data daily on Twitter. And what we have here is there was a break sometime during this period here. There was a trend line break. Let's call it during this period here, August of 2015, during this move. And of course we know the stock has been trading much lower since then. We draw a line from there, and you can see that this has been where the stock has given sell signals. Every time the stock has come to this level and showed uniform activity rejection, we made a short-term high in the stock and pull back. We hit that same level here for a short-term high and a pullback. So we are coming back to test that same line. Resistance on the red line might suggest that day to day, this is where somebody can expect the stock to start pulling back. Otherwise, if this is any different, then for the first time in a couple of years, the stock does need to move above that red line. There's also another view on the daily chart. If you take the top side of the RSI on the daily and draw a straight line, we are seeing that right now the stock is coming back to test this top side on the RSI. So lots of resistance, including the previous one we drew, that the stock has to contend with. If the stock is to do well, it needs to blast above those two lines. So if you take the weekly and the daily RSI considerations, more than likely the stock is coming to a level where it could stall. Eric Muadh, Muadh.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. EACS.